Hey guys, welcome to a short segment of the Grind Never Stops podcast. So, tonight, before I continue, tonight we will be doing the live commentary between the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. The winner advances to the NBA playoffs, while the loser still has a chance to clinch a spot, but they will play the winner in the series between Indiana and Charlotte. But let's move on. So this weekend will be the NBA play-in tournament. The NBA playoffs officially start this weekend with 4 games on Saturday and 4 games on Sunday. And the third, fourth, fifth playoff spots and sixth are already booked, but now they're waiting for the 7 and 8 spot in both conferences. So first, I want to start with the Pacers vs Hornets, and obviously the game has already been played, as the Pacers are up by 32 on Charlotte Hornets. And we'll just talk about my original predictions, and then we'll recap the game. So for the Pacers, it's a matchup they all wanted, as the Pacers have the better starting lineup, but the problem is that only the starting lineup that's better than Hornets, because the Hornets do have a decent bench. But still, we will see what Sabonis, Brogdon, and Levert. But the thing is that we'll talk about Levert in just a moment. But obviously, we didn't forget Miles Turner, but he's still witnessing a minor injury, and we hope Brogdon and Turner and Levert could return to action for this win or go home game. And it was just before the game started that Karis Levert is out due to health and safety protocols, and he's expected to miss 10 to 14 days, which is 2 weeks, as that's how the rules is post pandemic. Well, during the pandemic. Well, for the Hornets, it will be about their big boys, and I don't consider that they have big boys, but it's Charlotte's best players with scary Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, and rookie sensation LaMelo Ball, and they will take the Hornets where they want to go. And again, we did not forget about improving small forward Gordon Hayward, who has had improved since getting injured back in 2018 when he signed with the Celtics and when he broke his leg against the Cleveland Cavaliers. But Gordon Hayward is injured at the moment, and he missed this game, and even if they won, he wouldn't have played in the first round. But I hope that he could play in the play-in this evening, but it was a no-go for him. And originally, I had the Hornets over the Pacers, but that was with Gordon Hayward. But I still think Hornets could have a chance beating the Pacers. So we will recap the game right now, as 4 minutes left in the fourth. The Pacers are on their way to victory. They're up by 34 points, and the game was already decided in the first quarter. And as the Pacers scored 40 in the first quarter and scored 69 points in the first half, compared to the Hornets, who only scored 42. The top performers for the Hornets was Miles Bridges. He had 23 points, 8 rebounds, and Sabonis had a Sabonis game where he had 14 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists. He's also one of the top 20 big men to have that kind of stat line in 3 quarters. And LaMelo Ball did not have a great game himself. He only had 14 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists on 4 for 14 from the field. And also, Terry Rozier shot 0 for 9 from 3, and he only had 16 points, tied a team high 8 boards and 5 assists. PJ Washington struggled. He had 8 points. Bismack Biyombo played only 3 minutes. Cody Zeller was probably the best, the second best Hornet, as he shot 7 for 7 from the field with 17 points. Graham struggled as well. He shot 1 for 8, only had 4 points, and Malik Monk had 13 on 5 for 10 for the field. So the Hornets played awful in the first, played awful in the second, played much better in the third, but the game was already decided, as now the Pacers have put up 141 on the board compared to the Hornets' 105. TJ McConnell had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. Michael Brogdon, who came back from injury, had 16 points and 8 boards. Brissa had 23 and 5. After being weighed by Toronto, he's finding his shooting touch. Also, Doug McDermott, who started on fire in the first and with 21 points and shot 4 for 6 in threes. The Hornets from the field shot 44% compared to the Pacers' 57.6%, and that cannot happen in this league if you want to win. They cannot happen. And also, from three, they shot 46 from three, close to 47%. Hornets shot 28%, 12 for 40. And the Pacers made 80% of their free throws, while the Hornets made 75. So now it's 144-109, so it will be a great victory for the Pacers as they will move on, but they haven't clinched. They haven't clinched the top spot just yet, because as you know how to play in, as I explained to you before, that the 7 and 8, even if you lose, you still have a chance. But since the Pacers and the Hornets are 9 and 10, as they were outside, if they want to clinch a playoff spot, they need to win not only one game, but 2 games, and the loser goes home. They don't get a second chance. So the Charlotte Hornets, who had a 33 and 39 record on the season, had big performance all year long from PJ Washington, from Malik Monk, from Bridges, from LaMelo Ball, the rookie, Terry Rozier. Graham started out well, but ever since LaMelo Ball took the starting position, Graham has struggled mightily. Cody Zeller as well has struggled mightily. And Gordon Hayward had probably his best season since his Utah Jazz days, but he's been injured the whole season. So not the whole season, but that most of the second half of the season he was injured. So expect him to be 100% next season, and we hope Hornets will be able to have fans to give them more jump into their game. But expect the Hornets to go after Kyle Lowry and go after some key free agents, because I think they need to make a decision on their center position with Bismack and Cody Zeller, and obviously with Scary Terry and Devontae Graham and LaMelo Ball. They need to choose one starter and one that's willing to come off the bench. But we both know Graham has struggled when he comes off the bench, and LaMelo Ball is an indeed starter. And also Rozier is a good player as well, a great shooter. So the Hornets have a lot of questions and have a lot of positions to fill. And expect PJ Washington to keep going. He's been having a great season, not a bad season, not a superstar season or all-star, but he's been having a good season. So as you know, the Pacers will win with a minute to go as they're up 144-112 on the Hornets. They will face the winner between Washington Wizards and the Celtics in a game that we will talk about in just a moment, and a game that we will commentate in about 10 minutes. So let's start with the predictions for the Celtics and Wizards, the last play-in matchup in the East, as there will be another one for the last playoff spot. So for the Celtics, it will be a hard-fought game for them as their young superstar and all-star and improving shooting guard Jaylen Brown, who had career high in points, rebound, assists, steals, blocks, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, field goal percentage, in-paint points, defense, special teams. All what Jaylen Brown has done this season has been amazing, and he recently got injured as he banged knees with teammate Jason Tatum. So he was out for the rest of the season, and he will miss the whole playoffs, even if the Celtics reach the finals. So far for the Celtics in tonight's game, not only Jason Tatum has to carry a load more, but Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker have to play their best, because also these players in Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker did not have a good season themselves. But as you know, playoffs is a different beast, and obviously this is not the playoffs, but it's a preparation to make the playoffs. And you know, Kemba Walker did have a good second half, while Marcus Smart had a good first half, got injured, and did not have a great second half. So the Celtics are gonna rely most on Jason Tatum, Kemba, and Marcus Smart mostly. And the rest, they just need to do their roles, and maybe some role players need to do more, especially their big man. So for the Wizards, the sky's the limit for them, as they ended the season with huge wins and big games from their superstar in Beal and Russ. Well, mostly Russ, but Russ has carried his team with his hard work after starting the season on a horrible way. After losing Thomas Bryant for the rest of the season, the Wizards, and especially Russell Westbrook, has been a balling. And I think Russell Westbrook should be an MVP candidate. And Bradley Beal fell short of the scoring title as Steph Curry beat him for the scoring title, but Bradley Beal had multiple 50-point games, had a 60-point game, had 40-point games, had a million of 20 and 30-point games. So Beal has been playing really well, has improving, but Russell Westbrook is the reason why the Wizards are in the spot that they are, that they have two chances to advance, even though they lose. But I still feel my original prediction, that the Wizards will beat the Boston Celtics. And it's going to be tough game for the Celtics. But the only good part is that the Celtics are home, and there's not a lot of fans, but it's still fans, and we need more from Tristan Thompson, because Tatum is gonna take most of the shots with Kemba and Marcus Smart. And yes, the Celtics won the season series 2-1, but they were healthy when they played. But now this is a rivalry matchup, but expect the Wizards to beat the Boston Celtics. It's gonna be a good game to watch, because Celtics could have a chance to beat the Washington Wizards, but we will see, as we will commentate on top of the hour in about 15 minutes. Make sure to tune in on Colorcast app. You can download it on the App Store, as you can tune in to my live commentary, and it's free to sign up, as you can do commentary as well. Check out Colorcast. Now let's go to the Western Conference. First, we'll start with the Memphis Grizzlies against the San Antonio Spurs, as both teams have been surprisingly playing well. So as you know, the winner will advance to play. Winner advances not to the playoffs, not yet. They will be in the same spot as the Pacers and Hornets. So the winner of this matchup will play the loser of the 7 and 8 play-in, and the loser in this matchup will be eliminated from the playoff contention, because it's the 9th and 10th spot. It's going to be a great matchup to see as the Grizzlies got Jaren Jackson Jr. back, Marshawn Brooks, Dylan Brooks, my bad. Dylan Brooks, the Canadian, has been playing well all season long. Also, former Spur Kyle Anderson. So expect the Grizzlies and Ja Morant. Don't forget Ja Morant, the point guard. But it's going to be a tough game because the Spurs do have great players in DeJounte Murray, Derek White, who's game time decision, DeMar DeRozan. They lost on Marcus Aldridge. They got like a young Poro. They got also Keldon Johnson, the rookie. But expect DeRozan and Ja Morant to go at it possession by possession. But in this prediction, I got the Spurs winning over the Memphis Grizzlies. So my prediction means that the Spurs will play the winner of the 7 and 8, and that game is Lakers against the Golden State Warriors, which we'll talk about now. So the last matchup, well, not the last matchup, but the second play-in is between the Lakers and the Warriors, in which we will also do the commentary tomorrow night at 9 p.m. my time and 10 p.m. Eastern time. It will be a great, and you can check us out Colorcast app if you want to listen to my commentary. It's free on the App Store and it's free to sign up to commentate yourself. So it's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers who've been losing AD and LeBron James to injuries most of the season, especially AD, who missed almost 35 games, and LeBron more than 40 games. So we will see what they can do against the Golden State Warriors, who have been surprisingly good. And before we continue, so it's a final in the matchup between the Hornets and Pacers in the play-in. The Pacers will move on to play a game to clinch a spot, and the Hornets are eliminated from playoff contention as they put up 144 to 117. Sabonis fell shot, one assist shy from a triple double, ended with a Sabonis Westbrook type line with 14 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists. So let's go back to the Lakers and Warriors. So Curry and Draymond Green will try to continue their dominance over LeBron-led teams. Curry has won the 3 of the past 4 series against LeBron James. And that could be, well, Steph Curry, because he's the best scorer in the league and won the scoring title. One of the best scorers in the league. And the only thing that they could take a positive going into this game is that Curry and Draymond have a winning record against this rivalry between them and LeBron James teams. And maybe that because they know how to stop LeBron and how to beat LeBron, but the Warriors don't have the KDs. They don't have Klay Thompson as Klay's out for this season. They don't have Iggy. They don't have the defensive players that was on Curry and Draymond team that beat LeBron-led teams. But expect Curry to go off. And I know Steph Curry did a lot of games in the finals against the Cavs. He shot abysmal from 3 a lot of games, but a lot of games also he shot deep threes and he shot a lot of deep threes. And Draymond Green will continue what he's been doing all his career, and what he's been doing this season is getting dimes working, playing defense. But now for the Lakers, it's time for them to continue their dominance overall and win back-to-back titles for the first time since Kobe Bryant. And LeBron hasn't won back-to-back since 2014 when he was a member of the Miami Heat before he rejoined the Cavs with his second homecoming. And AD needs to play well, and yes, he ended up the season on a good note in the last 2-3 games, but he struggled ever since he came back. And LeBron James has been injured at almost every game and leaving the game early, but expect him to be ready for this game. As even if the Lakers lose, they still have a chance to make the spot, but I don't think it's gonna be. I have the prediction that the Lakers will be the Golden State Warriors, but the Lakers haven't been 100% healthy since halfway of the season. AD just came back. He's not 100%. LeBron is not 100% as well. So Lakers will look sloppy at times, but I think they will get this victory. So based on